Colorado is, I would say, my second home. I've come here to Crested Butte with my family every year since I was born. I'm lucky enough to get to work from this amazing town. I'm Mackenzie Simpson. I am a software engineer at Fanatics. We sell sports merchandise basically for fans. Since then, we've expanded into betting and gaming, trading cards, collectibles, things like that. I do front-end development, and I'm very passionate about accessibility on our websites.
Do we have camera speed? Well, everything rolling? Okay, yep. Action.
I think music for me has always been a way to process my feelings. My friend in high school was in a car accident and was put in a coma for a few months and wasn't sure that he was going to make it. We did this song in my a cappella group, and I asked if I could dedicate it to him at this performance that we had. So I did, and I then sent it to his family, and they played it for him while he was in the coma. And then when he woke up a few weeks later, he asked, "Will you play that song for me?" And his mom was like, "What song?" And he was like, "Mackenzie sang a song. Like, I remember it from when he was in his coma." And then I recorded it with my a cappella group, and I was crying in the studio while I sang it. And it hurts my heart to see you cry. I know it's dark, this part of life. I would say that anytime I'm emotional now, that's when I go to the piano, and definitely it's my little therapy session. I mostly code in JavaScript in the React framework, do a little bit of HTML, CSS styling. Fanatics is a very interesting company. The vibe has always been a good blend between a big company and a startup feel. So we do move very quickly, but then we're very careful about making any changes, analyzing test results. It is a rare day that I get to make a change and just say, there it is on the website for everyone to see. It's very much experimented on. And Fanatics also, I mean, the other interesting thing about Fanatics is that we run about 1,000 websites through the same platform. So it's really up to experimentation where they're testing that. Before Evinced, Fanatics had an accessibility partner that would give us an annual audit that would basically just be comparing us to WCAG compliance. We would receive these reports that have thousands of issues across all of our sites and all of our thousands of pages, and they wouldn't necessarily be characterized well. It was just really hard to understand. So then my job becomes twice as long because I have to comb through and do all of the figuring out what the issue is myself. So it was a very slow process. Yeah, so in came Evinced Site Scanner, which is an amazing tool that we've been able to leverage for the exact issues that we had with our reporting before. It's very clear reporting. It's a beautiful thing to look at, and it has graphs explaining the severity, graphs telling you you might have this many critical issues, but if you tackle these three components, that goes down by 95%. So we know exactly this is a high priority, we're gonna get this done first, and our score is gonna improve by X amount. That was not clear before. And it'll give me a clear, not only description of the problem, but recommended solution. So I, as an engineer, don't even really have to go in and find all the WCAG documents and comb through those and understand the problem and how I'm supposed to fix it, which involves a lot of Stack Overflow reading and all of these things. Now I literally have a sentence that says, add a data track ID to this component. The site scanner actually integrates with Jira, which is our ticket writing tool that we use at Fanatics, and it'll write the ticket for you. So you go in and then you can hand off that ticket to an engineer, and it takes about 0.5 seconds versus a month. One of the best side effects of having these events tools has been that management is able to invest a lot more resources into improving our accessibility. Before this, when our tooling was relatively non-existent and we had these reports that were difficult to consume and problems that weren't clear and hard to fix, and no way of saying, this is what our accessibility looks like now, and this is how it's improving with the investment you're putting into it. It was a very hard thing to invest in. Now we have these tools that make everything a lot simpler, more efficient, and a way to actually say, this is where you started, this is where you are now, this is where you could go. And so in the last year, we've put a lot more resources into accessibility using these events tools, and our accessibility has improved a lot.
Is any of this usable if I keep messing up?
Yeah.
Cool.
I think like one of the things that is tough is actually getting an entire team of engineers to take an extra step. No one thinks that they've written an accessible code. I love these tools and I'm very willing to do that extra step, but actually finding some way to actually enforce it is difficult. So I would say any tool that like really takes all of the onus off of, it's just automated. Any automated thing is great, because sometimes even getting people to push an extra button is tough. I would say that is something that I'm looking forward to, is more tools that like are just fully automated, and once we integrate with it, it takes care of everything for us.
Do you see what I mean that I don't play the guitar? But it's so fun.
Accessibility is not something I learned about in school. I majored in computer science, and I don't think there was a single class offered that had anything to do with accessibility. So once I found it, and once I got my first little ticket and had my first little fix, it opened my eyes to this whole world that I think is really important. And I think as an engineer, it's like the least I can do to make sure my website is accessible to everybody.
I will hold you tight and I won't let go.
It's like a storm that cuts a path. It breaks your will. It feels like that. You think you're lost, but you're not lost on your own. You're not alone. I will stand by.